Hi, and welcome to part 2 of this mini-series on Boxwood Bonsai. In this part I'm going to be working on this beauty here, potentially very nice bonsai. I'm also going to be working on this. Actually broke off a bit of another boxwood and I managed to get it to root about a year ago. And it's doing pretty well, so I'll be working on that today. Firstly, I wanted to say a few words about this. When the trunk splits so low down, you've got quite a few choices with a bonsai. One is that you could chop it off. Now I've left this large branch because this side of the main trunk is pretty bare. Okay, so what I'd really like is for a branch to come here, here, and if they emerge sometime in the future, then I'll probably just chop this whole branch off because it's coming out too low. The other option, when you've got a branch coming so low down and so large here, is to consider mother-daughter, where this is the mother, this is the daughter. They sort of go together, and then you have to kind of treat them as one whole design, one whole shape. And that's what I'm doing here, and I'll do that until I get back budding on this side of the trunk here, if I ever do. Okay. What you can't do in this case is consider it a twin trunk, because right at the base of this you can see a very nice trunk flare. It's kind of going out very nicely to roots which will someday become beautiful nibari. Now if you have a twin trunk or any kind of multiple trunk, the roots need to be coming there where the trunks come out. So if I wanted this to be a twin trunk, I could do it, but I'd have to do an air layer at this point, and it really isn't worth doing that because I've got such a nice trunk base already. Now here's on the back side of the tree, you can see actually it's quite an interesting feature, but it's dead wood here, where there may have been a branch in the past or the bark has just come off. Now that completely prevents me from doing an air layering at this level, because I could get roots to come out here, but I can't get roots to come out here where the dead wood is. Where there's still live wood and bark covering the live wood, you can get roots, but not here. So air layering and twin trunk is just completely ruled out. It wouldn't be worthwhile on this tree. And it's, you know, quite a pretty tree. I just need to deal with keeping the daughter side a bit, maybe a bit less stated, a bit lower. What we've got here is quite a large protrusion on this side, so maybe just getting rid of that may make it a little bit more in proportion. So I think I'm going to chop off this section here. There is a shoot just here that I might as well leave. It's nice and small, it can be wired into direction. So I'm going to cut this branch just above that smaller branch. There we go. Looks a little better now. We'll wire that down. A bit more tidying is needed here on the daughter side. Here there's a branch that's coming out and growing backwards towards the main trunk. I'm going to have to make a decision on that, whether I just chop it off. If I chop it, there'll be what we call negative space here, or what some people just call space, and that space in between the trunks could actually accentuate the whole image of the tree, but it does look kind of nice having that there. I think I'm going to just keep it there for now. So we'll wire that down, but what else? This does need tidying up a bit. We've got quite an interesting branch here that is coming out and then turning sideways. Here we go. here, 3 shoots coming out of one point, so one of them's pointing directly down. We'll just get rid of that. Gone. And here, halfway along that branch, is another shoot that's going directly down too. I'm going to get rid of that. Just remove that. And I think this one needs to be shorter. There's a bit of wire on it. I'm going to use these scissors that have a wire cutter on them and do the branch and the wire at the same time. And as always, I'm going to use a bit of directional pruning here. So at the end of this branch that I've just chopped, there's a leaf going upwards, which means that the next shoots that come from this branch are going to go upwards. I don't want that. I want them to go outwards. So what I'm going to do is prune it back to the point at which there are leaves going outwards. There. Okay, it's looking a bit better, but now still this end one is too big. It's out of proportion with the rest of the daughter area. Again, to 2 outward leaves. Deal with the crown. The whole tree, the canopy of the tree, we want to be in a kind of triangular shape. So here we've got shoots that are doing very well, so we want to thin them out and make all the most vigorous growth lower down. So, doing directional pruning and trying to get rid of wherever there are 3 in one point. Finally, we are going to deal with this side branch here. In some circumstances, having a branch coming out of the inside of a bend is not great, but since there's no buds happening, no branches coming out this side, this one is kind of necessary. What we want here is for this branch to come down, maybe reach about here. It's doing pretty well. Growing nice and compact and in the right direction. Okay, so let's just remove this wire. It's pretty good shape. There's one shoot going directly upwards here. Just get rid of that first. This one, I think I'll wire it down. It needs to be shorter as well. We'll cut it there and go back and look at that in a year's time. So we're looking a bit crowded here around this area right near the trunk, so thin that out a bit. And as with the other trees, there's some moss at the base, and that has the effect of degrading the bark. It doesn't look nice and old like further up here, so I get rid of the moss just from the actual trunk itself. We'll keep it on the soil, so I'm just literally pushing it back. Another thing that some people do is get an old toothbrush and use that to get rid of the algae that forms around the base. This green is not just the moss, it's actually kind of algae from being humid for long periods of time. I'm going to get a toothbrush and get rid of that algae. Now the key here is to remember not to clean your teeth with this afterwards. And as I rub away, you can actually see some of the ground roots there. I'm going to cover those up with a bit of soil, but not with moss, so the moss takes a little bit longer to grow back. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more topsoil just around there. This is small grain Kiryu, which I'm using more recently for topsoil. It's pretty good. A bit more around here. That will do very nicely. Give it a watering and put it back on the bench for a year. Now this one is not a great bonsai, it's just a cutting, a branch is broken. So there's not much I could do. It could be potentially a future broom style bonsai. I'm right now going to get rid of one or two of the trifurcating branches that I see to turn them into bifurcating. So here's one. 3 branches coming from one point. I'm going to get rid of the one that's going inwards towards the middle branch. Here's another. And another. And yet another. That's all for that one. And here we go, we just put it back in its place here. Now you'll notice I've got these little sprays which are basically for misting, and in the heat of the afternoon I put them on for 2 minutes every 5 minutes. They don't use all that much water because it's just mist, but it just keeps the air humid. In these drip trays underneath, it collects a bit of water, but that water evaporates off so quickly it never really gets up to the base of the bonsai pots. So that's a good way again of keeping the air around them humid.